Hi, this is Sean Shears here, and this is my introduction to reverse chord finder. Because when I did my DM lab session, people were asking me, how do you come up with your keyboard chords? Now, normally I would use something like this, which highlights the keys. So I basically unhighlight the keys, and I just start highlighting them, like so. I can't actually hear the sound whilst I'm recording this voiceover, but at the top, you can see it gives you different variations of the chord. Problems with chord finder are that that it's good for selecting chords. So I'm working more within the region that I work in. So you can work outside your normal spatial parameters, and you can work within them. So the only problem with it is that it gives you an option of playing, so you can play it as an arpeggio there, if you've got that little line thing by the bin, or it will just strike it generally. But if you hold the play button down, it will always arpeggio. Now the problem is that you've got the clipboard and the favourites board. Now I don't know how to get to the clipboard. I haven't figured that out, because my idea was to just simply do what I always do. Come on here, find out if this is useful. If it's not useful, then I don't use it. So this is the region I normally work in. So I thought, well, I'll try and add this to favourites. So I played it, arpeggioed it, just bang down. Okay, that works. And up the top I've got different versions of it. So I've got B major, D sharp, so I can't remember. So D sharp, I'm going to select that. Okay, right. Now, okay, it's already got a chord saved there. So I'm thinking, well, that's not the chord I've got. So I go back there. Now I'm thinking, okay, I can edit it, because it's giving me an editing version now. So I'm thinking, okay, well, let's just add that to I think I might have said the clipboard this time. But yeah, all right, I added it to the clipboard, okay. Now I'm thinking, how do I get to the clipboard? Now these are the things you need to figure out quickly. So okay, it's not saved it there, and so you just think, well, delete that one. And then it gives you a tip. It says double click the chord you want up the top. So you double click the version that you want. So I'm still here trying to find the clipboard thing. Very frustrating. And I could look through the video apps. I did look through a few of them, but to be honest with you, I just was like, let's just get into it. So piano, okay, cool, that's groovy. And I sort of gave me a fretboard and stuff. So I realised if I come here to the fretboard, see, this is what's interesting. Is I was like, great, it transcribes piano and fretboard, which most people are gonna be working with in some capacity. Now here you got your two notes, which is fine, but you can tune the strings to whatever you want, and you can have a different space on the fretboard, or a different tuning. So you can be at the sixth spot on the fretboard, and you can tune your E to the third fret and all this sort of stuff, which I've never really understood. I'll be blatantly honest. So there, that's a nice chord there. Bring all comes together. But be aware, if you hear a ping, because when you press the play button, it will just play it quite straight and arpeggiate it quite nicely. But if you hear a ping at any point, it will show a question mark, and that is often where you should go, or try to go. Now here, okay, I want to double click on one of my chords in a second. I didn't do this on the piano. So there, okay, I found something that works. Whether it sounds good or not, who cares? Let's just, okay, double click on the one we want. And then we go add to favourites, and then we know it's there. It's been saved to favourites. So we click on the start and we know we're at favourites. I haven't got time to mess around with the menu, because I'm thinking, if I do come up with something good, I just want to know what chords I used in that particular session, which is kind of cool. But yeah, once I find out how to use the clipboard, I will, but I don't know whether it's going to be as good as what I've used before. You can have more strings on this as well, so you can go from 3 to 12 strings, I think. But the beautiful thing about it is that it just gives you that basic transcription. Now, if you hear a ding, see, look, there's the other question mark. So I've gone to one question mark, so it's giving me a really atonal sound there. If I move it to that question mark, and I'm just going through the different versions of the chord here. So I moved it to that question mark, and all of a sudden, yeah, slightly different sound. But you want to be aware for like a little ping, and as soon as you hear a little ping, which we might do in a second, but I'm just going through this. But now I'm really liking it. So I'm thinking, okay, let's take some real risks here. Let's see how major, how let's see what happens. So that's 3 nice chords together, 3 nice notes together, 3, 1 and 5. I think I've heard the ping, not heard the, well, I've heard the ping. So I know whenever I hear this sort of ding sound, I know that's wrong. But whenever you get like those 3 chords like that together, those 3 notes I don't understand a lot of the positioning, and there's a dog outside barking. But you can save that to your favourites. The frustration is that you can't save. You see, now I'm thinking, okay, well let's lay something down. So I'm thinking, okay, so try that. If I hear a little ping, that I know it's not working. So I go again, and I go, right, okay, that's out of range. That's not right. So if I hear a ping, I know I've put my finger in the wrong place, or I've positioned the note on the wrong fretboard. But I'm just going to go back to tuning it again, because I found this quite interesting. Change the note, change the position, like I said, on any string. So it gives you that sort of freedom of that would take other guitarists half an hour to do in about 5 minutes. And I just had a Tinder notification, didn't even know I was on Tinder. But I'm doing this really quickly, this tutorial, because like I said, the clipboard thing, a lot of the stuff I use, when it comes up, it will keep the chords there, and it will show you in a split screen fretboard or keyboard, or it will just have a board of the chords you've saved. This you have to go to the favourites to activate them, but it's still good for transposing, because like here I can hear a ding, I can hear when it's right. So without that ping or ding, I can hear that's right, and I can see what kind of chord that is, and I can save that to my favourites. And if you save them in order, or you just save them, you can, and you screen record them as well, you can then remember, okay, well it starts like this, and notate it to somebody else, or say to your friend, grab a pen, write this down, job done. So that's quite good. So I wanted to see, actually, hold on, I wanted to go back to piano a second, or I was just looking around, I was just playing around again. Am I sure that ping works? Okay, well that definitely worked there. So I'm looking around the menu, still trying to see, so you've got major chord, minor chord symbols, note symbols, note names. So go back to the keyboard, because I'm thinking maybe I can put a keyboard sound into favourites, or bring the guitar sound onto the keyboard so you can see the same chord on the keyboard. You can't do that. That's a major frustration. Like I've said, you can't do that, but there are apps that allow you to do it. I think Chord Compass is one, but I am going to look and find some for you that basically transpose multiple instruments at one time. Depending on what you pick, it splits the screen up. But it would be handy if, where you've got all these top notes here, they were like buttons and you could push them, and therefore you could sort out your timing and get more of a sense of chords, which is what I had on an earlier version of this, which was, I can't remember what it's called, I think it's called Easy Piano. But another good thing is called Chord Explorer, or Chord Explorer was the initial thing I used, and the other one was Chord Explorer, and Simple Songwriter is really good, but they're more chord based. But I thought I was done with this, so I went to go, well, I'm kind of done, I've learned all I can learn as quickly as I can. And then it suddenly dawned on me, hold on a second, I was just about to hang up the screensaver, the screen record, because it's always good to screen record everything, because you can memorise it if you're on medication and stuff. And I thought, no, I've missed something out here. I've missed something out for you wonderful people, as well as you knowing what notifications I'm getting through. I've missed out an instrument. So I look at the menu again, and I realise there's actually a score sheet thing here. So you clear it all, bang, 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 bang. You get rid of the notes. Away they go, and you start putting in your own. Now, you add it to the bottom, you add it to the top. You can just literally touch the screen, and they'll just go on. You've got different scales here. You can use different notes, I think. I mean, it's not very clear. It's not as clear as some. It's very basic, very, very basic, and it takes a lot of messing around with. And I was a bit lost at this point because this is where I sort of, even though I've done classical stuff, I'm like, well, I know I'm dealing with different notes and different keys, but you just can't switch. I'm kind of a bit confused at this point. I did realise that each line above is as simple as like an octave or two above. So you can just tap and go above the regular scale that's there. You can go to flat, to minor, to sharp. I think you can go to half note and full note, so long notes and half notes, but it's not really ideal for that. But what I did realise, one cool thing, was not only can you change the scale, but if you tap on the clef, it allows you to pick the notes. So this then becomes really good if you're writing like a choral piece, because you can then go, okay, I want the C on the top, or the D, for example. So it shows you where it is, and then you can go to the bottom one, press that clef, and it then gives you an equivalent, and also it puts it, you can have one, and puts it in the right tuning for you. So basically, that in a nutshell is reverse chord, or as I call it, just reverse notation. So this is really good for notating down to producers and stuff, ideas that you have, and being a bit more precise, making lists, but always screen record stuff so you know where you are, and remind yourself what you've done, and just for reference really. But it's okay, and happy transcribing. Not the best, but it's okay.